A lot of people struggle with teaching their dog how to walk on leash properly. Their dog will start pulling from the moment they leave their home. This sometimes even results in dog owners no longer walking their dogs. In this video, I'll teach you how to teach your dog to walk on a leash properly. My own dog, Speech and Ox, will be helping me out in this video in order to teach you how to walk your dog. Before starting your training session, exercise your dog in order to drain their energy. It's much easier to walk your dog calmly when they've already gotten rid of their excess energy. I always like playing a game of fetch, football or tug of war with my dogs to drain their energy. As you see, they are really enjoying these experiences. Now that their energy has already been drained a bit, it's time to go out for a walk. When training your dog, make sure to bring treats along that are valuable enough for your dog. Although you can reward your dog with a toy, I wouldn't do so in training sessions on how to teach your dog to walk next to you, because you want your dog to stay calm at these moments. If you would reward your dog with a play session, they will bounce right back into this energetic state. When dogs are too distracted, they might have a hard time taking the treat from you. It's not because they don't like the treat, but more because they're too stressed out to eat at that moment. Since you're still teaching your dog on how to walk on leash, make sure to keep the training sessions short. Stop the training sessions before either you or your dog gets annoyed. Whether you prefer to use a collar or a harness shouldn't influence the result you're trying to get. It is possible to teach your dog to walk alongside you, both with a harness and a collar. I strongly advise against collars that cover your dog's nose, however, because neither you nor your dog will be learning anything. A harness might even encourage your dog to pull harder because they don't feel any negative consequence from pulling. They can use their whole chest to just push forwards. Me myself, I prefer using a collar because when a dog starts lunging, it's easier to redirect them with a collar than with a harness. When using a collar, you can turn your dog's head and move them away from what they're fixating on. It's much like horse riding. You turn the nose in order to turn your horse. If you want to see more dog training videos, please hit the subscribe and like button. Since your dog is already fatigued from the play session, it will be easier to make your dog sit calmly at the door and wait for you to leave the house. Take your time to teach your dog to wait at an open door until you give him the command to leave. You can tell your dog to wait at the door and open and close the door a few times. If you would start lunging to the door, you just redirect him back, close the door again. If he waits calmly, reward him. It's important to keep in mind that this video is not about how to teach your dog to heel, to walk perfectly just next to you. This video is teaching your dog to walk alongside you in a calm way. When taking your dog for a casual walk, you probably don't mind as long as he's walking alongside you. A second exercise you can try is to just sit down or stand still while walking your dog. There will be times when a stranger or someone you know walks up to you and you start a conversation. There's nothing more annoying than your dog constantly whining, barking and jumping at moments like these. In order to avoid this, teach your dog what you expect of him in these situations. Just stand still every now and then or sit down somewhere, and if he remains calm, just reward your dog. If not, asking him to sit or lie down might help him settle. The first training sessions should take place in a familiar territory for your dog. By doing so, you won't have to deal with extra distractions. You might even want to start inside your home or garden for the first training sessions. You should teach your dog that tension on the leash is never good. This does not mean you should wait until your dog has tension on the leash before reacting. Your reaction needs to come right before your dog reaches the end of the leash. If your dog feels tension on the leash, this will become a cue for him to return to you since he has gone too far away. By keeping tension off the leash, your dog gets the possibility to choose where they want to go. To put simply, he can either choose to stay close to you or he can choose to move away from you. When he stays close to you, Make sure you reward him for this. The moment he chooses to walk away from you, however, turn around and move in a different direction. Guide him back to you and reward him if he stays close to you again. I often see people walking their dog with the leash constantly under tension. This is teaching your dog that there is no other way to walk besides having tension on the leash. You're actually teaching your dog that pulling is okay. When walking your dog, do not give them a constant command to stay close to you. You can give a command every now and then for sure, but do not do this every second. And of course, you can reward your dog the whole time. If you would constantly tell your dog what to do, they will become dependent on your voice in order to know what to do. You want your dog to get used to being close to you without you constantly telling him to do so. I like to call this their default state when leaving the house. Only after a free or okay command, they can leave my side. When dealing with distractions, it's important your dog notices a distraction in order for them to learn how to deal with it. At the moment your dog starts pulling towards a distraction, whether it being another dog, an animal, a leaf, or just something lying on the ground, turn around, redirect them away from it, and reward them the moment they stop watching the distraction. Then, return towards the distraction and repeat until you can walk past it. If you're not being consistent and you allow your dog to pull at one moment and don't want him to at another, you're not really providing your dog with valuable feedback. This, of course, will diminish the results you're getting. So always be consistent. If you put in the work right now, you will reap the benefits in a few months.